Hey, Freddy with CJ Off-Road. When lifting your Jeep, your front axle can become misaligned, causing all kinds of problems. So today we're going to make sure our axle is nice and center when we lift our Jeep by installing this ReadyLIFT front adjustable track bar fitting your 2007 to 17 Jeep Wrangler. This track bar is made of heavy-duty 1 3/8 DOM steel tubing with a 1-inch threaded end for strength and durability and adjustability. It's going to be a direct fit replacement for the factory track bar and will allow us to fine-tune our axle position to make sure it's nice and center for proper suspension geometry. So today we're going to install it on our 2008 Jeep Wrangler. Tools you'll need for this installation: a lift and a pole jack or a jack and jack stands, 1/2-inch ratchet, 21mm socket, an extension, 21mm wrench, and a pair of channel locks or an adjustable wrench. Before we begin the installation, we're going to support the axle with a pole jack just for safety. Okay, so we're ready to remove the factory track bar, which is right here. All you should need to remove it is a 21mm wrench and socket. Remove the lower bolt. Now for the upper bolt. Then remove the bolt and the entire bar itself. And here's a side-by-side comparison of the ReadyLIFT track bar and our OEM track bar. The ReadyLIFT bar is much thicker, looks a lot stronger, and in our case it's a lot less rusty, and it does come fully adjustable with this threaded end. Now, since we don't have a lift on our Jeep just yet, we're going to make this the same length as the OEM one, and then we'll get it to a professional alignment shop to get it just right. So we're going to thread this end in to get it just about as long as the factory bar. That is looking pretty good right about there. And we'll lock our jam nut. We'll leave it a little bit loose right now so there's some play when we install it, but then we'll fully tighten it down and then get this to alignment shop to get it dialed in. Now we'll install the ReadyLIFT track bar into the upper mount and reinstall the factory hardware. Get the nut on there, but don't tighten it all the way. Now we'll reinstall the bottom portion. Now to make it a little easier to align the bottom bolt, we're going to lift the axle with this pole jack. And that should get the track bar nicely lined up. And then the factory nut. Snug it up, but don't fully tighten it just yet. Same thing with the top bolt. We're going to snug this up, but we're not going to fully tighten it just yet. We're going to tighten both of these bolts with it on the ground and the suspension fully loaded. All right, now we're going to put the Jeep on the ground. Now that we're on the ground, we're going to tighten up all the bolts. And we'll move on to the other bolt. Okay, our installation is now finished. Okay, we got our ReadyLIFT track bar installed. It looks way better than the factory bar, and it'll keep our axle nice and aligned for when we lift it. Installation was super easy. It's only 2 bolts, and it only should take you about 30 to 45 minutes, and before you know it, you'll be heading off-road.